Hello students, I am Dr. Tejaswini Ramdupe. In this lecture, we are going to study oral skills. What does it mean? It is the way we convey our message through verbal presentation. In simple words, it is the way we speak or present something. If you want to develop your personality, you have to clue up about oral skills. Unless and until you know inside out of oral skills, you won't become an effective speaker or infallible motivator. That is why it is necessary to learn this at grassroots level. In this particular module, we are expected to learn the difference between oral communication and written communication, comparing skills, and PowerPoint presentation. Even though speech and writing are the two sides of a same coin named communication, they differ in many ways. That's why we do not speak as we used to write, and we do not write as we used to speak. Is it appropriate to use colloquial language to write answers in your exam? Probably the answer is a big no. Then what makes them different from each other? To find answer of this question, we have to study these terms in detail. Here comes the first term, oral communication or speech. Oral communication, it is the way we exchange our message orally. Oral communication is the process of verbally transmitting information, ideas, knowledge, and orders from one person to another. Examples Examples of oral communication are face to face communication, group discussion, teleconference, meetings, seminars, public speech, etc. Now we'll see the advantages and disadvantages of oral communication. Advantages: quick feedback. First advantage of oral communication is quick feedback. In oral communication, speaker receives immediate feedback from the listener. So it is very helpful in cases of emergency. Economical. It's economical as it reduces the expenses of writing and printing. It is less expensive if we follow face to face communication because we do not need any special instrument to convey our message. Emotional touch. Oral communication is marked with emotional touch. The speaker can persuade the listener by giving emotional touch to his speech. I would like to state two examples here. First is Mark Antony's speech after Caesar's assassination in the play Julius Caesar by William Shakespeare. And second one is Amitabh Bachchan's speech during the court scene from the film Pink. If you don't know about it, please Google it. The next is its flexibility. The speaker can mold and reframe his speech at the 11th hour because it relies on two or more parties and there may be differences in their opinion. Secrecy is also a crucial feature of oral communication. The message can be kept secret for a long period of time if participants wish to do so. Time saving. This type of communication saves time if the participants are ready to have a quick conversation and successfully exchange the desired message. Now we will see disadvantages of oral communication. Misunderstanding. Poor communication can be resulted in misunderstanding. There is possibility that some of the words or sentences can be misinterpreted by the audience because of its ambiguity. Limited scope. As this communication is not suitable for lengthy messages, its usage is limited one. It is also not used by people at distant places where technical devices fail to work properly. No record. In many cases, it is not possible to record oral communication. Lacks authenticity. Oral communication lacks authenticity. It is not recorded, and participants can refuse to accept what they had said earlier. No legal validity. Oral messages do not have any legal validity if not recorded. It is a major drawback of oral communication. Impreciseness or lack of accuracy. It hinders the reliability of oral communication. As we know about the playfulness of words that have more than one meaning. Now, we will look at written communication. What is written communication? When a message is conveyed in a written form, it is called written communication. This is as simple as it. Examples of written communication are business letters, pamphlets, advertisement, legal documents, proposals, email, etc. Advantages of written communication. Permanent. Written communication is permanent in nature. We can easily maintain its record. Future references. Written communications can be used in future for references. For example, minutes of previous meetings can be used as references in the present meeting. The messages, letters, information that is preserved can be verified easily and used for future references. Clarity. In written communication, everything is mentioned in detail, so there is no scope for ambiguity. Unnecessary information is excluded from written communication. It tends to be clear and precise, suitable for lengthy messages. This type of communication is suitable to record and deliver lengthy messages like annual reports of a company. Effective. Written communication is more effective mode of communication. People prefer it for its authenticity and reliability. Mass dissemination. We can send a message to numerous people at once. Written communication can be easily copied and circulated among people at one and same time. It reduces time. Now we will see disadvantages of written communication. Openness. It is difficult to maintain secrecy of written communication, which is considered as a drawback. Time consuming. The process of written communication is lengthy one. The message goes from one person to another and vice versa. It takes a lot of time to complete the process of communication. Expensive. Written communication is expensive. Cost of paper, ink, printer, computer, internet connection increases the expenses of written communication as well as its maintenance adds to the expenditure. Delay in action. Written communication consumes some time to communicate with all concerned people, and there is possibility in delaying the prompt response, which causes delay in actions to be taken. Inflexible. This is one more limitation of written communication. We cannot make changes in previous messages. We have to circulate another message with corrections. The last is late feedback. Immediate feedback is quite impossible in written communication. Now it's time to look at the differences between oral communication or speech, written communication or writing. Speech as an auditory form of communication, while writing is a visual form of communication. Speech is informal and writing is more formal mode of communication. Speech is not planned. Many times it is spontaneous, but writing needs to be planned in advance. Speech requires two or more people to take a proper form. Written communication requires only one person at the initial stage to compose a message. Oral communication or speech is marked with variation. As you know, Malwani Marathi is different from Puneri Marathi. Kolhapuri Marathi is different from Marathi that is spoken in Mumbai. Tone of language keeps on changing from region to region. In case of written communication, it is not possible. There is no scope for variation, as we know that written script comes into existence only after standardization of a particular language. Speech expresses more than words. Our feelings are expressed by our tone and words. In written communication, a writer has to convey his feelings with words only. It means writer has to write everything in his words in appropriate words. Speaker uses pauses, intonation, while writer uses punctuation marks. Simplicity is a feature of speech, while writing is marked with complexity. Speech varies according to the needs and requirements of listeners. Writing is more logically organized and there is no scope for changes. Speech is temporary while writing is permanent. Speech gets immediate feedback. Writing does not get immediate feedback. It's absolutely absent. Now it's time to look at some examples of speech and writing. First example is of speech, second one is of written communication. Go through these carefully. Next example is, well, you can read it as you get time. We'll move on and look how they compose or set question on this particular model. In your exam, they will ask you two types of questions. Either they will ask you to identify the written and spoken form of the following sentences, like this. Can you identify this? First sentence, wanna go and grab a coffee right now? Yes, it is a spoken form. Second, take a break after 30 minutes and revise what you have learned in 5 minutes. Which type of form is it? Definitely, it is written form. Or they will ask you to write a speech and a paragraph on the following, like cultural event, social media. I request you all to complete these two questions. Thank you very much. We'll meet in our next lecture.